Hey, 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 family. It is time for the Real Money Coach Show here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all of that. And if you happen to be listening to this and you're listening to the repurpose, issuance of this as a podcast, whether it is on Apple, Google, Spotify, man, there's about 10 different podcasting platforms. So we thank you all for tuning in. We thank you for downloading the show, and we thank you for being here tonight. And if you're a regular and you're watching tonight on YouTube or Facebook or one of the visual platforms, you know what to do. Put it in the chat. Listen, we have a very good friend of our guest tonight checking in already, and that is no other than Janice the Rainmaker. Janice the Rainmaker Leak is in the house from the DMV, and so we're glad to have Janice in the house tonight. And when she put Rainmaker, I knew exactly who we were talking about. So Janice is here tonight. And if you're watching, just put it in the chat. One, it lets us know that where you're listening from. It lets us know that you can hear me. It lets us know that everything is all right. So we're excited about this. This is Black History Month. And hello, Kimberly. Kimberly is in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you, Kimberly, for being here. We're wrapping up Black History Month. I mean, I can't believe that it is already, I think today is the, let me check my watch. It's the 20th, y'all. It's the 20th. And man, time has gone by fast. And so we're just happy that you're here. It's been a great month as we celebrate Black history in a number of different ways. And I have to tell you this, I feel like we have a history maker that's going to be on with us tonight. Thomas Bird, Prince George's County, Maryland is in the house. Matter of fact, I was just talking about Maryland when we were backstage. Of course, Dante, our engineer, give a shout out to Dante. He's in Maryland. Our guest tonight is in Maryland. And I was going to be doing something with the Montgomery County Public Schools. Going to be doing that along with some other great people, Lance Smith, Marlon's brother, Sean Langston. We're all collaborating doing a financial wellness webinar that will take place next week on the 29th at 7 p.m. So we're going to be tuned in for that. I'm also doing something with a group out of DC, and I'll get you more information on that as well. That will be on the 28th and the 5th. That happens to be a Sunday afternoon, and the group is called SOAR. This group is called SOAR, SOAR, SOAR. And it's an acronym, and we'll share more information with you about that. So we're going to be doing some financial literacy there. Their particular event is called For the Love of Money, For the Love of Money. And we're going to be there sharing with that particular group about financial psychology, the mindset when it comes to money. Alice Martin, thank you for being here. Wonderful to talk to you today. Listen, it's just a great day. It's a beautiful, sunshiny day today. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. And so without any further ado, I'm going to bring on my co-host with the most, Michelle Mitchell. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
There we go. We're doing great. We're doing great. I see you
Good.
got some happy Valentine's Day balloons in the background there. My man know
Yeah,
what he doing.
I
Come
know, right?
on.
I
Huh?
know.
Yeah, yeah. So how is Tony?
He doing good. Doing good.
Yeah.
You
For
know.
those of you who are not regular followers of the Real Money Coach Show, Michelle and I go back like three flats on a Cadillac. And so we met when we were freshmen in college.
That is
And
right.
then eventually her and my wife became roommates and have been best friends for 30 plus years. I think
30.
when we counted up, I think we met in 86.
We did.
May in 86. So that's going on. I don't even want to that. We ain't gonna say how long that's
Don't
been.
say how
It's
long
been a
that is.
minute. That's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's
It's
been a
been a
minute.
minute.
And so
And
our
come on, Dante. Yes.
see, you
And
guys, if you guys are listening to the podcast, you don't get to see all the little visual antics that happen, but you just put a funny one. But yeah, so we've knowing each other a long time.
a long time.
You and Tony have your wedding anniversary coming up on, I believe, the 13th of June,
That's correct.
and we're the 25th of July, and so we've done
Yep.
life together. And so the ups, downs, all those things that we have as friends. So that's what Michelle is, y'all.
Yeah.
She's just my girl, and expert at what she does. And so if you need a small business consultant, if you need a small business coach, Michelle is the one for you. So
Yes.
um, putting out some new information, you all. I'll give you guys a little idea. We are launching a financial wellness checkup that will be free. It's actually up and running now. We kind of beta testing it, and then we'll really get a campaign going out. But what it does, Michelle, it really it gives people a financial wellness checkup in four areas. Number one is your money habits, right? So we
Yeah.
know how important that is. Number two, your planning. How are you doing in terms of your planning? Number three, how are you doing in terms of your retirement? And then number four, how are you doing in terms of your insurance? Now, it's going to give you an overall grade. Now, what you do when you get your grade, number one, is you need to figure out what you need to do to increase your grade if you need to do that or improve in different areas. And so
Right.
we're really excited about it. Really working hard to really launch some things. So, but that is up and running. So shh, don't tell nobody. We haven't really launched yet, but it is available for you to check it out. So, Michelle, anything going on in your world? Anything you need to announce tonight before we take a quick break and go to your commercial?
I don't have any announcements for tonight. Yeah, no announcements. I did attend a exit strategy seminar today, though. Quite
Exit
interesting.
strategy. Where are you
Exit.
going?
You know, I'm trying to be a better consultant.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to be a
Absolutely.
better consultant. So,
And I think a
um,
lot of times that's what we have to do. It's like you can't give what you don't have. So I'm
exactly.
attending webinars. I attend a lot of seminars. I'm
Yep.
always got something playing in the background,
Yep.
and then there's Carter. Y'all hear Carter, yeah. And so so it's always improving so that we
Yeah.
can give our best, right?
So we
So
can
I
give
love
our
that.
best. Exactly. So
Awesome.
I spent the morning doing that. So if you have a business and you need it, like everything I say, they were saying. So like I'm right on point. So
So it was confirmation,
it was
confirmation
confirmation
of
of
what you're already doing.
how we
Yep,
got clients anyway. So
yep.
yeah.
So and we've been doing some really things. We've been working with some clients, really kind of helping them ourselves in terms of with their finances and how to create larger tax-free income, right?
Yes.
So that income that you can't outlive. And we'll talk a little bit about that with our guests. But right now, let's do this. Dante, take us to a quick commercial. By the way, y'all, I'm working on a commercial. It's coming. It's coming real soon. It's going to be launched
The
May.
bar the
So
bar is high.
the bar is high. But listen, let me tell you this real quick. I really have been blessed. Terrence, a gentleman named Terrence Oliver, who I'm in a meeting with normally, technology meeting. They are going to his class is going to take me on and
Mm,
create a commercial. So he
nice.
teaches at UNC Charlotte, and it's
Okay.
going to be a class. And so there'll be a couple teams, and they're going to create commercial, and then I'll go in and judge which commercial I like best and all that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing
I
that.
love that.
And
I
so
love
that's
it.
going to be kind of neat to see that.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's show this wonderful commercial that I think my godson made this. You didn't do it, or did he do it? He did it, right?
He didn't do this one, no.
He didn't do this
But
one? Okay.
he gave some pointers because
Okay.
he was busy. He ain't had time.
Yeah, he's good at what he does. So I know his pointers
Yes.
was on. So let's show Michelle's commercial and then come back and I'll introduce our guest for the evening.
Do you have passion for your business but feel like your finances are falling short?
Running a business takes more than a great idea. It takes a solid financial plan. Mitchell Consulting can help you turn your passion into profit with their financial advisory services. Get the financial guidance your business needs. Contact Mitchell Consulting to learn more about their passion to profit capabilities.
All right, wonderful commercial. Make sure you guys connect with Michelle. And Michelle, how do they do that?
Yes, we would love to talk to you. Right now, just go to mitchellconsultingservice.com and click on the book now. It's free.
All right. So mitchellconsultingservices.com. Click on book now and you can book your appointment.
Yes.
So Michelle, this is what we have to do. We got to introduce our guests for the evening. I do believe here real soon. I'm looking in the green room. There we go. Yeah. So Michelle, there's some points in history, right? There's some points in history that you remember, right? So you remember things like, you probably remember your high school graduation, right?
Yes.
You remember that.
Yes.
You remember your college graduation.
Yes.
All right. We sat together, right?
And we sat together. Me, you,
together.
and Lisa.
We sat there.
We sat together.
Now, our names ain't nowhere near the alphabet. No. I don't know how that happened, but the three of us sat together at graduation, right? People remember, where they were. They remember when the man landed on the moon. Right? They remember when JFK was assassinated. People may even remember when MLK assassinated. Our guest last week was actually at the March on Washington. He shared that, right? Yeah. So he was there. He was also mentioned that he was Reverend Ike's attorney. Right. And I saw him, by the way. Shout out to Dr. Harris. I saw a lot of the people that I work with at Mr. Dudley's funeral on Monday, but on yesterday. And so there's certain things, and one moment that I remember, Lisa and I talk about all the time, is do you remember that night when it was announced that Barack Obama had won the presidency?
Yes.
Yeah, we were in front of the TV, right? Yes. In front of the TV. They were showing Oprah. Oprah's crying, and you remember that moment, right? Well, we had a moment like that in this company called First Financial Security. You were with me. You were sitting there. My wife was sitting there. I had 4 or 5 team members there. Your brother was there. Yep. We're all there, and they're giving these awards out on stage. And the highest award, the highest level that we have in the company is called Chairman's Club. And there was just one more announcement, and no one knew who it was. And then all of a sudden, it was announced that our guest tonight, Marcella Barnes, was the newest executive field chairman in our company, and she was a Black female. And I felt a sense of pride. It was like the Obama moment all over again. And I get to re-experience that tonight by bringing onto the stage Miss Marcella Barnes, Executive Field Chairperson at First Financial Security. Look at that. Hey.
Welcome. That's cool. I like that. That was cool.
Welcome, Marcella, to the Real Money Coach Show. Man, I'm glad you were here.
Yes. I'm glad you're here. I thank y'all for having me.
Marcella, I've been wanting you on the show, and as I was thinking, and I know I was kind of pressing a little bit. I was like, okay, Marcella. Michelle, I was hounding her, right? And I'm usually low pressure, but I was like, I'm gonna get Marcella. But part of the reason I wanted you on the show tonight, in particular, is because it is Black History Month. And so often we think of Black history makers as the people that we read in the book, the Martin Luther King, the Rosa Parks. And I'm not taking anything away. Those, but there are some history makers that's right in our midst. And to me, you're one of them. That moment when it was announced that you were Executive Field Chairman, and understand this, people, to become executive field chairman, that means that you had to have made $1 million in a 12-month period of time, right? Now, I'm one of the things I like about FFS is when we say $1 million, we're not talking about sale. Because I've been in some organizations, Marcella, where the sales numbers is tremendous, right? But you ain't making no money.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Listen, we got Claire watching all the way from Washington State. So you got high sales, but that don't equate to cash flow, Michelle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of the things I was impressed with about FFS.
Say it again.
Cash flow.
Cash flow.
We ain't talking about sales. I'm talking about deposits.
We talking about in your pocket, in your bank
in the bank.
I had to call my bank and let them know that check was going to come through.
Listen, I can't wait to call my bank and tell them, listen, be expecting a $1 million deposit this week. But you did it and I know most of us, when we look at it outside, it's like, wow, Marcella made $1 million in 1 month. But we know that that's not true. We know that there was a lot of work that went into it. There's a lot of, you've been in this game for a minute, that it didn't happen overnight, but that just was the culmination of all your hard work and things that you've been done. But it was a moment that we were so proud as African-American agents sitting in the crowd, seeing that. It was a very proud moment for me. And I want you to talk about it. I want to talk to you a little bit about what led to it. But before we get into all that, could you mind telling our viewers and listeners a little bit about who Marcella Barnes is and a little bit about who you are and your lovely mother that I always see you with and all that great stuff. If you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about who you are, and then we'll get into some of the specifics.
Okay, so I'm Marcella Barnes. My family is Panamanian, Jamaican, and Colombian background. And I went to a nursing high school back in New York, and I became a nurse right out of high school because they had a college bound program and they had a nursing program as well. So when I graduated from high school, I also had 2 years of college as well. I went to California, went into Cal State of Long Beach as well, got my RN and then had a minor in biology. Then I went into the military. I started off in the Air Force, and the Air Force wasn't giving me what I want. And my family always talk about having options. They didn't give me what I want. And so I switched from the Air Force, went into the Navy. The Navy gave me what I want for a temporary time, but when I wanted to go up that ladder, they didn't want to give it to me. So there I went into the Army. I went in the Army. I came out as a major, started a construction company, a management company, a real estate company, what else? Mortgage. And I started building and renovating houses. But one of the reasons why I was able to do that, because when we first came to this country, my mother used to buy properties and we would have to renovate them. So I learned how to build and renovate properties probably when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And then we had a grocery store that we had to work in every day until I graduated from high school. So I've been working literally from legally 3 years old. So with that said, my work ethic always has been like, I always strive to be amazing, because I look at, as far as, especially in our community, we have to strive to be amazing. Good is not good enough. That's what my mom always said. Good is not good enough. So I said, okay, so she said, good is not good enough. Then what's next? I said, amazing. Amazing stands out. So I started always striving to be amazing. So I started competing against myself to always be amazing. And so that's why I always tell people, I'm not competing against you. I compete against me every day, because every day I want to be my best me. Every day. Everything I do, I want to be my best me, but I strive to be amazing. So that's
and it's so funny because I was looking at this. I don't know if y'all can see that. Look at that. That is Marcella Barnes, Building Billions, Women in Construction. And so
yes.
You have been, obviously have had a trail of success. And So tell us
Construction
what.
is not a women's world, but that's
No.
why it's not a women's world. And then to be a developer and develop properties and projects outside of the United States, it's just where my space was. So before I built anything over here, I was building in foreign countries because they accepted me more. Then I started in Baltimore, but I was building townhouses and renovating houses so I know the real estate world for over 30 years. So that was where I was comfortable at.
Well, and so what I see here is a real trailblazer, right? Because you first of all you go to the military, the Air Force, the Navy,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in these very male dominated
Well dominated.
circumstances and situations and environments, and
Yes.
then you leave there and you go into construction, which is another
Male
male
dominated.
dominated area, and then you then start to dip your toe in and take it by storm, financial services, which is another very much male dominated industry.
Yeah.
So what has been your key to breaking down
The
barriers and
barriers.
shattering glass ceilings?
Well, honestly, I I never looked at it that way. I tell you, my goal was always to be amazing. So what I was doing, I didn't look at it to say, I'm going to be the first woman. I'm not going to be the first. I always said, I'm going to be amazing. It didn't matter if I was male or female. It's to say, I strive to be amazing. And if you come against me, you're thinking I'm competing against you, but I'm not. I'm competing against me because that creates me to be amazing. No one can. This is how I look at it. You can be, and this is the motto. This might be the foreign. This is our foreign country, because you got to remember I'm coming from a foreign background. So all my family's foreigners. Coming to America was like winning the lottery. It's what my family look at it. It's the opportunity is endless. All you got to do is keep pushing and pushing and pushing your way. And the good thing about America that people don't realize, you come here, it doesn't matter what job you get in America. Coming from a third world country, it's a good job. Let me give you an example. My cousins, they came here, and I go back to Panama and visit my ancestors. And the conversation go a little bit like this. Oh, yeah, man. You know, Haro is in the States now. Yeah, man. Yeah. What he doing? He got a big job at a corporation, man, a big corporation. He working, yeah, man. Yeah, he can't come down here, but he will. But yeah, he working at a corporation. Leonard, what corporation he working with? McDonald's. Yes, man. He working in McDonald's. Now, I live here, and I'm like, yeah, that joker is working. But foreign countries, that was like a great job. You got to think, you're making $5 an hour here in America, and you're making 50 cents a day over there with a college degree. So when you compare that to here, it's no comparison. So when people come here and they start say, hey, all of us can live in one house, and we buy another house, we start moving that. Everyone came to the United States, moved into our house, and left and moved into a house because we all helped them to get another house. That's just the way we moved. So that was always the drive. And I thought that was normal. I thought everybody owned a house. When I had my first house, I was 17. I thought everybody bought a house. When I went to college, my mom was like, living on the dome might not be good. Let's buy you a 2-family house, rent downstairs, live upstairs. And I was, what? I'm like, okay, that sounds good. But I thought that was just the way to go because that's all I knew. Wow. I didn't know about sleeping in on a Sunday or a Saturday. My schedule was very tight from the time I was little. We get up early because we had a grocery store downstairs from where we lived. So we lived upstairs on the top floor, and our grocery store was below. So when we got up at 5, and we had to pack and get the grocery store ready to open. We had to get newspapers ready, untie that, start giving that. That's before school. So and we lived there. So hooky wasn't the thing to do because we were the kids that's behind the counter on a blanket all day when you're not feeling good. So you went to school before the school door opened. No, we didn't want to wait for the bus because that meant we spent more time in that grocery store before we left. But if we walked to school, we could get a head start. We're like, Mom, the bus ain't coming today.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
yeah. So I think it's just I just look at it as the normal thing to do. This is what you do.
That's
And you help
perspective.
people because that's what you do. You're supposed to help people. That's what you do. It's just that's just natural for me. It's like, hey, you see somebody, you help them to get to the next place. When you come over to my house, my mother gonna put you to work because she's like, look, this need to be done, that need to be done. There's things to be done. If we come over to your house, my mother will find any repair that needs to be done. She said, yeah, the kitchen floor need to be done, and we'll put down that floor just because that's all we know. We don't sit around and just sit. That's like wasting time. So our work ethics have always been, that's me. So anything I get into, I always strive to be that amazing one because that's who I am. I'm not even thinking about what you're doing. So it so happened I outbeat guys.
Well, one of the things that I'm picking up on here is when I think of amazing, I think of it totally different now because amazing has no gender, amazing has no ethnic group,
Right. It
amazing
doesn't.
has no age, amazing has no barriers except for the barriers that you put on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the mindset. So if you've been taught that as a kid, that's all you know, you keep striving for that because in every role, in everything I do, I want to be amazing mom. I want to be amazing wife. I want to be amazing. Everything I do, I strive to be amazing. I'm going to be amazing and be amazing in the community. That's my word. Amazing. I'm always going to be amazing. So I'm not even looking. So some people will say, hey, Marcella, you don't like this person. Like, I don't even have time to get to know you in that way. I'm steadily trying to do what I need to do. Follow? So I don't have time to no, I don't do negative and I don't take in negative. And when people talk to me, sometimes they say, Marcella, are you thinking? I said, yeah, I have to teach what you're saying negative to get positive because I don't put negative in my spirit. I don't. And so I have that all these things help me to be amazing. I can't be amazing if I'm like, oh my God, the life is hard. Yeah, it's tough. But guess what? I'm amazing. So I'm going to push through always. And people, when people get to know me or when they know, they say, oh, damn, there she is. She's trying to be amazing. Yeah, you're right. I'm not even, that's who I am.
Miss Amazing. Miss Amazing.
Miss Amazing.
Miss Amazing. Man, Michelle, what we gonna do with her? What we gonna do with her?
We gotta level up because we gotta be amazing.
Gotta level up.
Yeah.
And I told you this. I just believe I'm gonna be up there with you. I'm gonna be up there with you at the Executive Field Chairman. So let's talk about this amazing month that you had, or this amazing journey that you had getting to the Executive Field Chairman. Tell us a little bit about that journey. What was that like for you?
Well, okay. So when I looked at the company, I looked and I said, there's 60,000 agents in this company, and there's less than 3% that are African American. And I looked at, and every time we go out to those conferences, I look and I enjoy watching everyone else being successful and everyone else doing something. But then I started thinking about it. It didn't matter if it was me. I just wanted to see one of us up there on that stage, because I always tell people, when you see your people there, then it makes you a believer that you can be there. Because that's what I see. When Obama became a president, I wasn't even thinking about being a president. But I know a lot of kids are saying now, I could be a president. I can do it, because they see themselves there. If you see yourself or see the person in a positive position, in a high position, you're going to strive higher, just because you're like, okay, you might not make it there, but you're going to strive to get there. And that's what's going to make the difference. So that day was an amazing day. And you guys were there, Tony. Let me tell you,
Yes.
our company can tell you, since that day, everyone in the company has stepped up. Why? I don't know if it's because they said, that doggone Marcella, she can do it, we can do it. Whatever it is, the company has doubled its income, because people start saying, oh, I could do more. I had so many people coming up to me talking, Marcella, it's like, I can do this. I'm like, you can. You can. I don't be the only one up here. I'm not trying to be the only one up here. I wanted to be part of an example to say, we can do this. It doesn't have to be a sad story or a bad story, especially when we're with a company that gives us the opportunity to make it. All you got to do is keep pushing. So I started coming up with a plan on how I'm going to get there. That's what was my plan. I was looking, I'm like, oh, okay. This is possible. This is real. And every time I saw more and more people getting and making those accomplishments, getting down like, must come up with a plan. You have to come up with a plan. And I started working on that plan for 3 years and I was calculating and putting it all in action. And I said, you know what? I gotta go back to people who do what I do. When I say that, in construction, one of the things that I realized is I didn't have an exit strategy. I had money. I had that, but God forbid if something happened, what would happen to my family? What would happen if I didn't die and I just got in a car accident? How I'm going to pay those bills if I'm not, if I have something. So when I first got into this business, that living benefit was strong. That's all I kept thinking about. I was like, wow, you know what? That's the key. And I remember, and I'm going to tell you a situation that happened that really made me thought about it. I was driving my truck and I had a big dump truck and I'm driving and I just got brand new wheels. I got hit head on, but my truck flipped over. It was on a Thursday. We were working on a work site. I had about 15 guys working. They all rushed to the hospital and the doctor like, man, you got a lot of visitors, and they was like, is she okay? But when they came and popped their head into my room, I said, you know what? They probably are really happy that I made it. But I also realized Friday was coming around the corner. They're thinking, how we going to because as a contractor, no one else can take my job at all. A contractor license is only on you. So if I'm not available or something happened to me, they're thinking, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? So I'm thinking, hey, you know what? I'm military. I have health insurance. I have that, but I don't have health insurance that's gonna pay my house note. I don't have health insurance that's going to pay bills that needs to be paid while I'm laying out in the hospital. So that living benefit is what I pushed out to all the contractors, all developers. I started saying, listen, what will y'all do if something happened to you? What will you do? I started saying that to hair salon. Are y'all going to be doing hair all your life? I mean, what are you going to do with your exit strategy? What are you going to do if something happened to your hands and you can't work for a month or a week? So that was real to me because I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. So I started making and saying, I'm going to educate people because we need to know. We need to know something's out there available that we can do and change that journey. I had no idea how much money at all. It wasn't never been about, oh, I'm going to know. I got into it because I said that living benefit is powerful. Powerful. So
it is so powerful. You're absolutely right. And I say that all the time, that, your health insurance would pay the health bill, but who's going to pay the mortgage? Who's going to pay the car insurance? Who's going to do things if you're not able to work? So if you're out there and you're listening to us tonight, just make sure you check in with me. Go to therealmoneycoach.com, check in with me. And here's the other thing. I'll say this. Make sure you get your hands on this. Make sure you get your hands on this. We launched this book. I launched this book, Michelle, can you believe on Thursday, it will be 2 years ago. And
Wow.
it really has a lot of the great information that you need. And so start here. If you're nothing else, just start here. Let's have a conversation, just like Marcella is talking about. Let's have a conversation about the living benefits, the cash value, all the different things that you can do. This is not your mother and father's insurance, right? This is something much more than that. This is not the Pinto of insurance, right? This is the Maserati. This is the Maserati of insurance. But that's so off. So as we wind down here, I want to ask you this last question. If someone is watching right now, and maybe they work for FFS, maybe they're in a different industry, maybe they are in school, maybe they're doing something, and they feel like, man, I've been at this so long, and I just need a breakthrough. I need something to happen. What would you say to encourage them tonight?
I would say spend more time analyzing yourself. You don't have time to judge anybody else. Every Friday, I go through and I revisit what I did, how conversations I had, what I did that day, and every day. And every Friday, I go back and I analyze what I could be doing different, or how I could be, again, a better me. And that's always my goal all the time, is I wake up saying, how I'm going to be the best me every day. So I would advise people, stop spending time looking and thinking about other people. Spend time getting to know yourself, and then see what your niche is, because there's something for everyone. Just like you just have to believe, one, in yourself, and then two, you just have to sit down and spend that time. The other thing you always have to do, a must, is pray some direction. When I say that, you have to be really focused on what you're praying for. Not just sitting here, I'm going to pray. No, it's got to be really clear. And the reason why I always tell people that is the God that I serve is very clear. He gave me 5 fingers on one hand, 5 on the next. He gave me 5 feet, 5 toes on one. So I said, you know what? When I talk to him, I'm going to be very clear in what it is that I need for him to do and to help. And that's what I keep continuing to work on. I work on myself all the time. However I communicate with someone, it's easy to be nice to someone who's nice. The challenge is being nice to someone who is not nice. That's a challenge. So always challenge yourself, challenge yourself all the time. I like that. But no, so I'm always working on myself. And you have to acknowledge other people and see what they're doing, and then strive to say, hey, Tony, I remember seeing you talking, and I'm like, wow, I'm so shy, I can't talk. Imagine I would, you tell me to get up on the stage, I'm like, huh? What? No. I'm in the background. I'm not gonna get out. And I watched it and I was like, that guy can really preach. He's good at what he's doing. I admired how you were you just able to get out there and just preach and talk. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I could do that. But at the same time, I said, yeah, I'm gonna work on it. So watching you and seeing what you're doing and how you're doing, believe it or not, I learn a lot from everybody, because everybody you can learn from. Everybody. You can see a guy, a panhandler. You could learn from them. You know what you could learn? You better get to work, because you could be that panhandler. Follow? So don't think you're better and it can't happen to you. We're all human. It can happen to any one of us at any time. No one can one thing I can tell you, it doesn't matter what culture you are, what religion, what race you are. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen the next minute. And no one has ever been able to go back in time. You don't turn 29 this year and go back to 28 years the next year. You go 29, 30,
Good.
right?
Right.
So you just have to keep, and just remember that you can learn from everybody. Everybody has a lesson for you. Good, bad, they all have a lesson to you. Some people you say, well, I know I'm not going to do that because it's not good. But you learn from them. That's how you keep getting better and better. But always focus on yourself and being your best. How you talk to people, how you address people, how you carry yourself. You will always see me giving you much respect and always edifying everyone. Why? Because they're a human, just like me.
Yeah.
So with that,
listen, you have given us permission tonight, y'all, to be amazing. Michelle, did she give us permission to be amazing?
To be amazing.
Be
be amazing.
Be amazing.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
Michelle, anything you'd like to add before we close down?
And thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here, Marcella. The only thing I have to add is happy birthday to my dear friend this week.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy
Yes. Come on and join the club, sir.
So when she was saying 29 and then you're going to be 30, she was really talking about me.
Right. Happy birthday.
Well,
Happy
thank you.
birthday.
I do appreciate it.
Okay.
I do appreciate it. And so I appreciate all of my friends and family and foes alike. So
Thank
you so much. Thank you, Marcella, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. And as we say at FFS, I will see you
at the top.
At the top.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Bye-bye.